WEEI sliced up the blame pie for New England's struggles. Bill Belichick and Director of Player Personnel, Nick Caserio, were given 30% of the blame. Tom Brady was given 20%, followed by offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels, and the offensive line getting 15% each. The wide receivers and running backs were each given 10% of the blame. So, Shannon, is this the right way to divvy up the blame?
No. And what I'm starting to see, and my grandfather used to say this all the time, he said, boy, people will never divvy up credit correctly like they will blame. Now, I've never heard anybody, when it comes to winning these Super Bowls, mention anything about the offensive line. I've never heard him mention the running backs. I've never heard him mention wide receivers. Everybody's told me that Tom Brady can make everybody, any receiver, can go play with Tom Brady and do big things. Here's your chance, Tom. Now we want to get blame. Blame. Now, how much, in these 6 Super Bowls, how much credit do you think, I just want to know, and I want you to turn it back to me. In those 6 Super Bowls, do you think WEEI gave Tom Brady 20% of the credit?
Is it my turn? Or what?
I just asked you, Skip, I said.
Are you asking the wall or me?
Skip,
I don't know. You're looking at the wall, and I don't know if I'm supposed to answer. If I answer, you might say, oh, I thought it was my turn.
I think I know where you're going.
No, hold on. If WEEI, if I were to ask them, do you win these 6 Super Bowls, are you giving Tom Brady only 20% of the credit? Yes or no? I'm asking you. Is WEEI going to give Tom Brady 20% of the credit?
I can't speak for WEEI. I don't know, but I assume it would be much higher than 20%.
Why? So why you want to give him much more of the credit, but so few of the blame? I'm confused here, Skip Bayless, but it's not your turn yet, so I'll let you.
What am I doing over here?
Because
I should just take the rest of this topic off.
No.
I'll see you in a little bit.
No. The way I look at it, Skip, if he gets lion's share of the credit, shouldn't he get lion's share of the blame? Now, this defense, while I don't think it's historic, they're still #1 in scoring by a long shot. But Tom Brady offense is 30th in scoring since that 8-0 start. 30th. So the last 5 games, they're 30th. That's pedestrian, Skip Bayless.
My turn?
It's easy to say, well, I just want to know, Skip, because, see, what you told me is that Chris Hogan wasn't that good. You told me that Amendola wasn't that good.
No, I didn't. I love Danny Amendola.
You told me you didn't want Chris. You told me Chris Hogan, get him out of here. You told me that. You told me get out of here.
Now you're putting words in my mouth.
You told Chris Hogan, Chris Hogan, who is he?
I told you he could run. 7-11.
But now you want him.
Always open.
Okay, so now you want him.
Yeah. I mean, he ran 4.5.
So, look, Skip, of course, when you lose Gronk is arguably the greatest tight end to ever play. There's no replacing that. But look at what he won the Super Bowl. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Skip, I'm going to let you have it after this. You take as much time as you need. They were down 28-3 against Atlanta. There was no Rob Gronkowski. He had Julian Edelman and James White. But there was a guy that never played another game that had 5 targets, 4 first-down catches. Malcolm Mitchell. Now, did anybody say, oh, Malcolm Mitchell, he's a must-have? After that, he never played another down.
Got hurt. Had a knee injury, couldn't play anymore. I thought he was really good.
So all I'm asking, if you want to give Tom Brady only 20% of the blame for these woes, you must only give him 20% of the credit for those yo's. Take it away,
Well,
Counselor.
that was deep. I don't know if I can follow that.
You can't.
I'm not going to give 20% of the blame to Tom Brady. I'm going to give 15% because I'm going to give 75% to the guy who deserves it, the guy who buys the groceries and cooks the meals, Bill Belichick. He was, what did you tell me before? He knows every move this team makes.
He does.
Every little move. He is responsible for that roster from top to bottom. Bottom includes Gunnar Olszewski, who was actually had a big role in this offense until he got hurt and is on IR. I never thought I would see the day where Tom Brady would miss Gunnar Olszewski. He was actually playing a lot of wide receiver for the New England Patriots, as well as giving him a little spark as a punt returner. He's gone. We miss you, Gunnar. We needed you. I think Brady picked him out of the crowd before a game and said, what's your name? Gunnar. Oh, come down here. One of those guys. So here's the point. Bill Belichick had to see all this coming because you can't go forward with a group of wide receivers with an aging Julian Edelman as #1, and he now leads the whole NFL in drops. The Patriot receivers as a group lead the whole NFL in drops. And you cannot, if you're Bill Belichick, the greatest coach ever, You cannot replace Rob Gronkowski with timeout. Matt Lacoste?
Skip, you're not replacing Rob. You're not replacing Gronk.
Well, give me somebody. Benjamin Watson he's just about to turn 39 years of age, and he was a late addition because it was going to be Matt Lacoste, cut twice by the Giants, once by the Jets, and once by the Broncos, and Ryan Izzo. Matt Lacoste, and now he's hurt and he's gone. Really? So this is it? Guess what? The Patriots receivers in catches as a group are 31st in the NFL, and in touchdown catches are dead last in the NFL. Guess what? The running game that was so strong through the playoffs, it led the whole playoffs in rushing. It is now 23rd in the league in regular season rushing. Why is that? Because all of a sudden, the offensive line that used to be made into miracles by Dante Scarnecchia is a bunch of replaceable parts, not spare parts, all of them replaceable, including Isaiah Wynn, the left tackle, who was just a disaster against the Chiefs the other day, and he's the only first-round pick in that group.
I find it so ironic that you said an aging Julian Edelman, but you have yet to say anything about an aging Tom Brady. And therein lies the problem. Because
I thought it was my turn.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. I didn't do that to you, but I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. So, again, here's Tom Brady thrown into an offense in which you can't pass protect, you can't run it, and your receivers as a group right here, right now, to me, rank dead last in the league. How would Patrick Mahomes fare in that offense? He would be a disaster. He would be trying throws that would be intercepted left and right. And the
he's just throwing away like Tom Brady does.
Well,
lead the league in throwaways.
Because he has to. There are
two
kinds of throwaways. There are desperation throwaways where you got to throw it away or take the sack, or there are Aaron Rodgers memorial throwaways in which you look and say, I don't love this. I don't want to risk an interception. I'll just throw it over there. Thank you. Two kinds.
Skip.
Two breeds.
Let me ask you a question. Yep. If I go rob a bank and I just want the money for myself, or I go rob a bank because I got a loved one that has a medical emergency, which one am I going to go to jail for, Jenny? Both of them. So throwing the ball away is throwing the ball away. And I'm not going to let you get off the hook with it, Skip Bayless. You say Aaron Rodgers threw the ball away, Tom Brady is throwing the ball away. Call it what it is.
Aaron Rodgers' protection is 10 times better than Tom Brady's. Now, as you pointed out the other day, it got so bad that Steve Spagnuolo said they can't block anybody. Let's blitz Tom Brady every time because no receiver can separate, so we can just go play press. Let's just go press all of them because they can't separate.
Everybody's doing
and
that.
Tom Brady's on his heels the whole time, having to throw it away to save sacks.
Skip.
Really?
But see, Skip, that's what I've been telling you all along. See, you look at Julian Edelman, but because he's not Julio or one of these top-flight receivers, you say he's nothing. You look at a Chris Hogan. You look at these guys. I say, Skip, and I've been trying to tell people, I say, those guys are better than you think. Now you get an opportunity to see.
I don't know how many times I sat in this seat and back to the old show saying Danny Amendola is one of the great clutch receivers we've ever seen because he caught some balls from Brady. Some of them weren't great throws, but he would go snatch it on 4th and 10. There was one game at the Giants, I remember, where it was 4th and 12, and Danny Amendola just went and snatched it out of the air because he had clutch hands and he had a wavelength with Tom Brady that Brady doesn't have with Jacoby Myers. Mohamed Sanu, acquired by Bill Belichick at the trade deadline, looks like a bust to me. He can't separate. N'Keal Harry, picked by Bill Belichick in the first round. He played a grand total of 2 snaps on Sunday. Please help me out. Why was that? He's the only electric player they have on the roster at receiver.
But you know, in Coach Belichick's tenure, they've never valued receiver. How many years did it make Danny Amendola take a pay cut just to stay on the roster? And finally, after he's like, that's enough is enough. I'm not taking a pay cut. I'm going. He's a free agent, and he went. He went to Miami. I think he went to Miami first, got money, and then when he ended up in Detroit. But Skip, that's what I've been telling you. Everybody says Tom Brady can make anybody. Well, if he can make anybody, make those guys.
Well, he's struggling to do that now because he's hitting rock bottom.
But Skip,
and by the way, you spent this whole show telling me just how much quote-unquote criminal genius that Bill Belichick has.
Yes.
He can be a criminal genius.
Yes.
Well, why wouldn't he now be sabotaging this roster because he wants to get the 42-year-old out of there? Does this not smell of sabotage to you? Boy, it does to me.
Smell like a guy getting old on the job.
Really?
You know,
it smells like a guy that Bill Belichick is saying, I'm going to make it where nobody could survive.
You know, there are a lot of jobs that after you reach the age of 65, you got to go. Whether you're in great physical condition or not.
Really?
Yeah, some jobs you got to go.
Maybe somebody's pride is on the line across the table.
Ain't no pride.
Somebody's been saying he's got to go for 3 straight years.
It ain't my pride on the line. You see your guy sulking on the sideline? You see your guy, we got to do our jobs. We got to get open quicker.
He might be going home to his wife saying,
crying.
That coach is trying to
crying.
do me in.
He's crying.
Just maybe I might have to go somewhere else and stick it to him next year.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
You ain't going to stick it to nothing. It's over.
Okay. Yeah, just let him go to the Chargers next year and see what happens.
I think that could happen.
Oof.
Oh, yeah,
you're going to do that very well.
What do you do with a Keenan Allen?
The dynamic between Belichick and Brady will forever be the most fascinating relationship around here, especially on this show. But we got to talk about a different